Welcome back, everybody.
Back. So today we have a very important question to ask.
Very important. I cannot believe we have not asked it until this point, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. But the last episode we did, you should go watch it. It's about a hoagie man. It's pretty interesting. But we brought up the idea of, is a hot dog really a sandwich or is it not? It's a debate that goes on for a very long time, and there are two split sides. And what is the truth? We don't know.
We're going to find that out.
So today we're just going to be talking about that and sharing some history and some polls and some other stuff just to try to figure out once and for all, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? Okay, so the history of a sandwich. The modern concept of a sandwich using slices of bread can usually be traced back to 18th century Europe. However, the use of some kinds of breads or bread-like foods to lie under or over food, or used to scoop up and enclose or wrap some other types of food, is found in many much older cultures. So the ancient Jewish are said to have wrapped meat from the Paschal lamb and bitter herbs in soft matzah, which is flat, unleavened bread, during Passover in the manner of a modern wrap made with flatbread. Flatbread of only slightly varying kinds have been used to scoop or wrap small amounts of food throughout Western Asia and Northern Africa and other parts of the world. During the Middle Ages in Europe, thick slabs of coarse and usually stale bread called trenchers were used as plates. After a meal, the food-soaked trencher was fed to a dog or to beggars at tables of the wealthy.
My goodness.
Wow.
That's rather awful.
Just give you soaked stale bread.
Stale plate? Is that what they used it for?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's terrible. Okay.
It is, yeah.
Oh, the dogs probably liked it.
So the sandwich's popularity in Spain and England increased a lot during the 19th century when the rise of working classes needed fast, portable, and inexpensive meals. In London, for example, at least 70 street vendors were selling ham sandwiches by 1850.
How about that?
By early 20th century, as bread became a staple of the American diet, the sandwich became the same kind of popular quick meal as it was already widespread in the Mediterranean. The first written usage of the word sandwich appeared in Edward Gibbon's journal, referring to bits of cold meat as a sandwich. It was named after John Montague, 4th Earl of Sandwich. Very interesting. Sandwich.
I love that that's a place, that there's a 4th Earl of Sandwich. Like, I want that title. That's
He was an 18th century English aristocrat. It is said that he ordered his valet to bring him some meat tucked between two pieces of bread, and others began to order the same as sandwich. That's what they wanted. They wanted what sandwich had. Very, very interesting. It is commonly said that Lord Sandwich, I love that, Lord Sandwich, that he liked this form of food because it allowed him to continue playing cards while eating without using a fork and without getting his cards greasy from eating meat with his bare hands. Before being known as sandwiches, this food combination seems to simply have been known as bread and meat or bread and cheese. These two phrases were found throughout English drama from the 16th and 17th century. That is some of the history from sandwiches.
How about that? Okay, so now we're going to go into a little bit of the history of hot dogs. So, disclaimer, there's a whole bunch of German names in here.
Yeah.
That I am not up on my German. So, if you are German, I apologize if I totally say your names wrong. But anyway, so the word Frankfurter comes from Frankfurt, Germany, where pork sausages similar to hot dogs originated. These sausages, Frankfurter Würstchen, were known since the 13th century and given to people on the event of imperial coronations, starting with the coronation of Maximilian II, Holy Roman Emperor, as king. So Wiener refers to Vienna, Austria, home of a sausage made of a mixture of pork and beef. Johann Georg Lahner, an 18th to 19th century butcher from Franconian city of Coburg, is said to have brought the Frankfurter Würstchen to Vienna, where he added beef to the mixture and simply called it a Frankfurter. So a German immigrant named Fuschwanger, I think, it's a fun name, from Frankfurt in Hesse, allegedly brought the practice in the American Midwest. There are several versions of the story with different details. According to one account, Fuschwanger's wife proposed the use of a bun in 1888, and so they sold hot dogs on the street of St. Louis, Missouri, actually, and they gave gloves to the customers so that they could handle the sausages without burning their hands, which is kind of a neat idea. idea.
Yeah.
But they ended up losing money because they're giving away all these gloves.
Yeah, and no one brought them back.
Right. So they decided they would just put it in a bun instead, and hence the hot dog.
Because I'm thinking they were not the typical gloves, medical gloves
I don't
today.
think
they were
they're
like
the Target disposable gloves that you can.
No, they're like
off.
actually knitted or whatever, fabric.
Or sewn together or something. Yeah. So in another version, Antoine Feuchtwanger, or Anton Ludwig Feuchtwanger, served sausages in a roll at the World's Fair, either at the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition in St. Louis or earlier at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, again, allegedly because the white gloves provided to customers to protect their hands were being kept as souvenirs. So people have always
bring
tried
them
to
back.
steal things as souvenirs. That's just a thing.
That is a thing.
So there you have it. That's kind of the history of hot dogs.
Yeah, so now that you have some history of where they came from, now we're going to talk a little bit about official polls
We're gonna
that
delve
people
into
have
the
taken.
polls.
Yes. So
By
let's
the way,
get on
this just makes me very happy that there are polls whether hot dog is a sandwich or not. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that that exists.
Yeah, it is. It's very fun. So there's these polls about whether you think it is a sandwich or not, and we're just going to see the feedback of other people and what they think. So, 2016 poll results show that 57% of Americans say that a hot dog on a bun is not a sandwich, compared to 33% who believe it is a sandwich. Meanwhile, 10% were undecided. The polling was conducted online among more than 2,000 U.S. adults ages 18 and older in May 2016 by Harris Poll on behalf of the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council.
Good for them. Good job, guys. So, other polling in 2016 on social media showed that Americans aged 18 to 34, 64%, and 35 to 44, 61%, are more than likely than their older counterparts of 65 plus, which is 44%, to believe that a hot dog is not a sandwich. In fact, Americans over the age of 65, 44%, are the only demographic group where more say a hot dog is a sandwich, 50%, than is not. Southerners, 62%, Northeasterners, 58%, and Westerners, 58%, are all more than likely to agree that a hot dog is not a sandwich than Midwesterners, which is 49%.
Another poll by Public Policy Polling in 2018 said that 34% of voters think that a hot dog is a sandwich, to 51% who say it is not. When they polled on the same poll that did in 2016, only 29% thought a hot dog was a sandwich, and 60% said it was not.
So the most recent poll by Ibotta in 2019 asked users if they believed a hot dog was a sandwich. So 36% of Americans agreed, considering a hot dog a sandwich. Looking at the states, California came out on top with 49% of users stating that it is a sandwich. On the other side of the country, Vermont balked with 77% of users stating it is not a sandwich.
Yeah.
So a little bit divided there on the countryside.
Yeah, but obviously with all these polls, I think more so people think it's not a sandwich is what we're getting.
That's what we're getting.
Yeah. So now we got the polls, let's talk about the official definitions of sandwiches and hot dogs.
Definitions.
Yeah. So the first definition is Wikipedia's. Now I know some people don't like Wikipedia, so we have
Because
multiple.
Wikipedia is always right.
Yeah, so
always go there.
We have different definitions here, but that's one we're going to put in. So with Wikipedia, the definition of a sandwich with them is a sandwich is a food typically consisting of vegetables, sliced cheese, or meat placed on or between slices of bread, or more generally, any dish wherein bread serves as a container or wrapper for another food type.
Container.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that a little bit later. So again, on Wikipedia, their official definition for hot dog is a hot dog is a grilled or steamed sausage sandwich where the sausage is served in a slit of a partially sliced bun. So they put the word sandwich in there.
They did. This is the Wikipedia explanation of a hot dog.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we are on to the Webster definitions of sandwich versus hot dog. Number one, starting with sandwich. 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between. Number 2, 1 slice of bread covered with food. Number 3, something resembling a sandwich, especially a composite structural material consisting of layers often of high strength facings fillings bonded to a low-strength central core. Very hardcore
technical,
description of a sandwich. Okay, so then hot dog is a frankfurter with a typically mild flavor that is heated and usually served in a long split roll.
Okay, so how about dictionary.com's definition? So, with sandwich, they have an item of food consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or another filling between them, eaten as a light meal. Now, their definition of a hot dog. A frankfurter, especially one served hot in a long, soft roll and topped with various condiments.
So then this went to court. This is like official. So in the U.S., a court in Boston, Massachusetts, they actually ruled in 2006 that a sandwich includes at least 2 slices of bread, and under this definition, this court finds that the term sandwich is not commonly understood to include burritos, tacos, and quesadillas, which are typically made with a single tortilla and stuffed with a choice filling of meat, rice, and beans. So it didn't really bring up hot dogs.
No.
But the court said that it has to have at least 2 slices of bread.
So that's what they're saying.
Sandwich.
Yeah. So another definition with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, it gets pretty technical with them. They said that the product must contain at least 35% cooked meat and no more than 50% bread. By their definition, because they're so technical, PB&J doesn't make the cut, neither does the grilled cheese.
I don't know about that Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, I think that's too
for
technical.
me, a PB&J is a sandwich.
Yeah.
You could have banana and peanut butter sandwich. You could have a lot of things. I don't know if I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on to what officials say about all this. So in 2015, the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council declared that the food is not a sandwich. The council said in a statement,
Our verdict is a hot dog is an exclamation of joy, a verb describing one showing off, and even an emoji. It is truly a category unto its own.
Very interesting description of hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay. The council even released a poll in 2016 declaring the majority of Americans believe the same sentiment. So basically, it makes people happy.
Yeah.
They're saying,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, and also, if you hear kids playing, they're at a pool and they're having fun. So
they're having
if
the
you
time
hear
of
them,
their life.
yeah, so if
just
you hear
ignore
them, ignore that. So another one is the Fuda team weighed in, deciding that hot dogs shouldn't live under the sandwich header of menus nationwide. So they're saying no either. No, it's not a sandwich.
So let's keep track. Officials so far were 2 say it's not.
Yeah.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary officially declared the hot dog as a sandwich in 2016. They supported their definition by saying that when the hot dog is served on a roll, it is also a sandwich. So there you go. 2 no, 1 yes.
Yeah. And according to a transcript from 1970, astronauts involved in NASA's Apollo 13 mission called the hot dog they were eating a sandwich. The astronaut is quoted as saying, "I just made myself a hot dog sandwich."
A hot dog? I've never heard that in a
No, either
sentence.
hot dog or sandwich,
I've
but
never
not
heard
hot
someone
dog.
say a
Yeah.
hot dog sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know who this NASA astronaut is, but I'm not sure he knows what he's talking about. Maybe he went to space and it's different up there. And I don't know. So, The Atlantic also declared that a hot dog is not a sandwich because even when it is in a bun, it is not in between 2 exterior pieces that are either separate or mostly separate. So
Yeah.
they go back to the thing about, is a sandwich 2 pieces of bread, or is it just a covering?
Right. So the dictionary also compared hot dog to a meatball sandwich, saying, given that the definition of sandwich is 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling in between, there is no sensible way around it. If you want a meatball sandwich on a split roll to be a kind of a sandwich, then you must accept that a hot dog is also a kind of sandwich. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, the polls, what the officials say, the history, now we want to share our own thoughts on what we think. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, I personally think that it's a gray area on this topic. You know, a lot of people have differing opinions, and I don't know if it's cut and dry, but I believe hot dogs should be in the sandwich category. I really do. Even though it's obviously an unpopular opinion with all the polls. First, they have the standard requirements for sandwiches if you go by many official definitions. Here's a few that we just read. We'll go over again. The Webster definition for sandwiches. 2 or more slices of bread, or a split roll having a filling in between. So according to this definition, the bread part can be a split roll and not just 2 pieces of bread. So
That is true.
that counts for it.
True.
Yeah, hot dog, the bun, that's a split roll. And then Wikipedia's definition for sandwiches. A sandwich is a food typically consisting of vegetables, sliced cheese, or meat placed on or between slices of bread, or more generally, any dish wherein bread serves as a container or wrapper for another food. So some interesting things here is that it says container or wrapper.
That's
so
a
that,
key word.
yeah, so that really defines what a bun is. It's a wrapper. It's wrapping around the hot dog. So that clearly states the bread can be a bun too. It doesn't have to be just slices of bread. Another thing is the fillings. Wikipedia says that the fillings can be cheese, meat, or vegetables. A hot dog covers the meat part, and often people put onions or relish on their hot dogs, so that counts as the vegetable part. And typically, sandwiches are very simple and fast to make on the go. I would argue that hot dogs actually are pretty simple and easy to make too.
They are.
It only takes about 7 to 10 minutes to cook the hot dog, and then you just put it in the bun, get some condiments, put that on it, and
you're ready to roll.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a bunch of sandwiches that are typically cold, but there are hot ones too. A few examples are a Reuben, a grilled cheese, if you count it with the Department of Agriculture. I would count that as a sandwich.
Department of we're just not talking about their comment because I don't think I agree with them.
Yeah, and there's also breakfast sandwiches with eggs, cheese, bacon, etc., and BLTs, just to name a few of hot sandwiches. So that's kind of my pointers on why I do think a hot dog is a sandwich. Now, what would you say?
So, my honest opinion is I went back and forth for a long time. I really wanted it not to be a sandwich. I kept trying to figure out how to make it not a sandwich. I really did. I tried to think of points, but every time I realized that everything else on bread is pretty much a sandwich. Because I even thought of hamburgers. Technically that would kind of be like a sandwich.
Yeah.
I tried to think of... The thing that got me was people who put sausage on a roll, and that's like a sandwich. I wouldn't think of a sausage on a roll as
or
not
the
a sandwich.
Meatball or a hoagie or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing about a hot dog that would be completely away from the sandwich category. Every single part of it could probably fall into that area.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go with it as a sandwich, even though I tried really hard to make it its own thing.
Yeah, I think it is a sandwich.
I like the definition of it being an expression of joy. If you want to think of it that way,
yeah,
go ahead.
I love that because they didn't really define why it wasn't a sandwich, just that it was joyful and it needed its own
And if you want to, let's focus on that. Joyful hot dogs.
Yeah, so I guess what we have concluded here with all our research and our views on it is that it really is up to you on this, if you think it's a sandwich or not. That's really your thing.
No one has come to a conclusive decision on it.
Yeah, but we both would say that we do think it is a sandwich because, as she said, it doesn't go far away from a sandwich in any way. It's very close to a sandwich. So yeah, that's what we would say is that it is a sandwich. It is, even though it's unpopular with people. We really dug deep, and that's what we came out with. We think it is.
There we go.
So,
and, I'm very excited about the Duke of Sandwich or something. What was his
Lord
name?
Sandwich.
Lord Sandwich. I'm gonna be using that one. # Lord Sandwich.
Lord Sandwich. Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this, and the polls on YouTube are no longer available, sadly. Even though I found those really fun, you can't do those up there.
YouTube.
Can't do that. So comment below whether you think it is a hot dog is a sandwich or not, or if you are still undecided. And we'd love to hear your thoughts.
And do you like hot dogs?
Yeah.
Because some people don't.
So now it is time for the news.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in. Aquariums have just announced their plan moving forward to help the many fish and other aquatic life currently dealing with depression and loneliness. The many months of zoos and aquariums being closed have taken a toll on the mental health of all our fishy friends. These fish, who have been used to visitors coming in and viewing them and boosting their egos, have taken a hard hit. Therapists are currently being brought in, and hopes are high that the fish will be able to get through this difficult time.
Reptiles have taken to the stage as Broadway takes a break during the current pandemic. We may have never known the hidden talent that lies beneath their scaly exterior. Some of their current popular productions are The Lizard of Oz, The Sound of Crickets, Frogger on the Roof, and My Fair Beardy. And now it is time for the Taylor Treasure Box.
Surprise, it's actually full of hot dogs this time.
No, we didn't do that. It's not really good. We have a hot dog here.
We just put out a bunch of hot dogs. Ooh, one truth and one lie.
Okay, what did I eat last? I ate pizza, applesauce, and zucchini.
Good for you.
That's what I had.
That's a healthy dinner.
It is.
Okay, so my one truth and one lie, you may know this.
Okay.
I don't know. Either I have never eaten at a Sonic or I have never eaten at a 7-Eleven.
Phew. I'm gonna say a Sonic that you've never eaten there.
That's correct. I've never eaten at a Sonic.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I've been to a 7-Eleven.
Because we've gotten the slushies there. What was it, the free ones or something?
Yeah, we would go on 7-Eleven. Which, by the way, they didn't do that this year. Did you hear about that?
They didn't?
They canceled it. Yeah. They would, like, if you were a member of the rewards program, you could get a coupon, but you couldn't go and get your free slushie.
That's very sad.
But yeah, I've gone in there because we also one time had these random coupons to get their hot dogs, actually.
Really?
Full circle.
Look at that.
And we got their hot dogs, so I did eat there. But no, never been to a Sonic. Never eaten there.
So again, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment below on what you think of the hot dog sandwich discussion. And make sure to give this video a like and a comment. Make sure to subscribe. And after you subscribe, make sure to press the bell to get all of our videos in your notifications box.
And you can share this.
You can
and see
share
what
it.
other people think
You
about
should.
the hot dogs.
Yes. Bring a discussion to your friends and family. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, which is at Taylor Treasures Official. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode.
Thank you for watching.
If you'd like to subscribe
It's a
down
mini
here,
hot
you can
dog.
subscribe.
Put this right in front of you.
You can subscribe. You can also.
Now it's gonna come over here.
Well, you can
follow the hot
watch
dog.
the video right
Press
here.
over
You can watch it,
here.
and yeah, you can do that too. Yep. I'll see you next time.
Bye.